And welcome. Here's another edition of the ETV Sportsnet Coaches Show. This time we're going to be talking tennis with everyone's favorite Texas legend of a tennis court, Mr. Jeff Bramlett, of the men's and women's coach of both tennis teams as well. And, well, Coach Bramlett, obviously it's good to see you here as well. Once again, how you been this last couple of days?
Hey, it's good to be here. Always good to be here.
Absolutely. And
Better than I deserve.
And absolutely. And as we expect, you have your notes as well. So
just I brought it just for you.
Well, I appreciate that, honestly. But so, Coach, lots to get into today. But before that, we got to recap your final regular season match against Belhaven, of course. On the men's side, it was straight sets, like 9-0s, I think, on both sides, unless there was an 8-1 match, if I remember. But either way, it was a successful job, a successful win for both teams as well, just to kind of complete the regular season.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's hard to get a sweep, and to get 2 sweeps in this was just phenomenal. It was a great way to end the season, and especially on that men's side, because they've got a very strong men's team, and we were not going in there thinking sweep. And then as the match progressed, we got down there to that final match, and Tyler was in a super tiebreaker, and then ends up pulling that thing out. Then Ty had a real tight match out there, and it just went back and forth. And I say tight match, he ended up winning 6-2, 6-1. It just looked tight, but we ended up getting a sweep out there, and we had a real tough match at number 1 doubles, 8-6, and you know, with Adam and John out there, and really just everything fell into place. Gosh, we won 8-0 at number 2 doubles. Gosh, Andrew had an 0-0 at number 3. Adam had an 0-0 at number 6. You know, we had some matches where you know, where we just rolled them, but we had several very, very close matches. 1 and 2 singles could have just gone either way. They got probably 2 of the better players in the conference at 1 and 2 singles, but we ended up winning both those in close matches. So everything just really fell into place for the men's team. So that was an unexpected sweep, I guess I should say.
And speaking of unexpected sweeps, of course, you were able to pick up some accolades along the way, as you were able to sweep both the ASC Women's and ASC Men's Player of the Week, with Adam Morris and Kaylee Smith picking up their picking up some accolades as well. Kaylee Smith, of course, you know, she ended up conceding like 0-0s in her singles matches as well. And Adam Morris picking up his first. Just talk about the play of those two all season long, and in particular the last match.
Yeah, I mean, they've just helped set the tone all year long, and like you're saying, both of them won their singles matches 0-0, and that's hard to do. And then they both played number 1 doubles, and that's a hard position to play, and got their teams off to 1-0 lead at the number 1 doubles. 8-6 on the men's side, and then I think on the girls, I believe we lost the first game, and then if I remember correctly, I think we won 8 straight games after that. I believe it was 8-1. So just tremendous job at the number 1 doubles, and that's a hard position to play, especially for a freshman with Adam, and they're both just such good sports about it. And Adam's been in some tough matches this year. The last match against Concordia out there, and then last match against Laterno, and he just always is such a good sport. You know, even in tough losses, comes off the court and always shakes hands, always smiling, and you know, just couldn't have a better person out there to be Christ-like reflection out there and reflect what it's like to be an ETBU tennis player.
Certainly, Coach. And well, this is that time of year where, you know, all the hard work pays off. You manage to get yourself in a conference tournament, and each team will have their conference tournament. It'll be the men's team first, starting tomorrow. Quick 30-minute drive out to Laterno University, because Laterno won the ASC East Division, but you will be having your first match against Hardin-Simmons University. Weather permitting, of course, that match will take place at 9 a.m., but all the hard work seems to pay off, and this is an opportunity for you to hopefully get a little bit of revenge against Hardin-Simmons, who beat you earlier in the season. So just kind of talk about your thought process going into the match.
Yeah, well, we really wanted to host conference, so this was as close as we could come to hosting conference without having to do the work of hosting conference. You know, just being 30 minutes away. But we're looking forward to playing Hardin-Simmons. We lost to them 6-3, I think, earlier this year, and lost two super tiebreakers, so it went down to the wire. If we win both those super tiebreakers, we obviously win that match 5-4. And then if we're able to sneak by them, then we get Concordia, who's the #1 seed out of the West. Many people picking them to win the conference tournament. And then we lost to them 5-4. That was the match I was talking about, Adam Morris being the final match on the court when it was tied 4-all. And if it weren't for two let cords going against him in a row on consecutive break points, we'd go up 4-1 in the third set in that match. You know, we could have very well won that match 5-4. You know, so if we could win both those, we could very well be in the finals, have a rematch against you know, potentially UT Dallas, which many people are picking UT Dallas obviously to be there in the finals. So you know, I feel like our guys believe, and we're just going to try to take it 1 point at a time, one match at a time, and see what happens. But you know, weather permitting, we need the tennis gods to smile on us on the weather tomorrow.
Absolutely, Coach. Opportunity for you to have a good match as well. Let's go back to Monday night, obviously. The Tobey Awards, where every year athletes, you know, get honored for their special achievements in a way, but it seemed like tennis was racking up all the awards as well. I mean, there were some that stood out. Tiffany Stankiewicz, Elisa Kendall picking up for the women's side, even Malika Ezekiel as well. On the men's side, John Herr, Reed Adams. I mean, it just seemed like, you know, the success of both teams this year, putting yourself in a position to, you know, have a chance to either host or actually be in contention and finish among the top teams in the conference really seemed to have picked up a lot of accolades around the school as well. Just talk about, from an overall, from a team perspective on both sides, what the season has been like up to this point.
Oh, I mean, you know, they're not only doing it on the tennis court. I mean, the girls have been doing it for years, you know, both being nationally ranked and regionally ranked, but now the guys are getting recognition and became regionally ranked this year. But you know, they're doing it spiritually, being recognized now with awards. They're doing it academically. I mean, with that award Malika got, you know, what's that called, the COSADA ASC award for being one of the top academic athletes. So, you know, it's you know, obviously shows the success that the tennis program is having for them to be being recognized with so many different awards. So you know, I can't say enough nice things with for the young men and young women in the tennis program. They're like I say, they're doing it everywhere and making me look good for sure. Yeah, you could have probably doubled my SAT score, and we wouldn't have been where some of theirs are right now. That's for sure. They're doing a great job.
Well,
I'm real proud of them.
Well, I'm glad you're proud of them, and obviously we're not going to go into academic issues with you and all that.
Yeah, please don't.
No, there's so much going on with that going on. We don't want to cause any trouble. But hey, Coach, let's just say, you know, best of luck to you tomorrow, and hopefully you can continue to play into hopefully Saturday in the championship as well. So we will talk to you next week as you will have your women's team compete, but more importantly, the men's team will be going up this weekend, and hopefully they can go on an incredible run. All right, folks, that'll do it this time with head coach Jeff Bramlett. We'll talk to him next time on the ETBU Sportsnet Coaches Show.